Hi, how are you? I'm talking about Selfless by Hyram today, which has been a highly requested video. I did buy a couple of the products. I didn't get more because they were pretty expensive, but I wanted to do my research before I made a video on this, and I want you to just give me 1 minute of your time to show you and explain to you why these products are kind of a lot of marketing fluff, and that's kind of all that's going on here with their environmentally friendly social impact change story that they're going with, or sorry, marketing that they're going with. So all you're gonna do is you're going to go to selflessbyhyram.com. You're gonna scroll to the bottom of the website. You'll see a year, you'll see 2021. And then I want you to look at what's directly next to 2021, and you'll see that it says B for beauty, BE for beauty. I want you to copy that, put it into your Google search bar, put down UK for the United Kingdom, and then I want you to hit enter. And when you do that, you will find an article by fashionista.com, and it is an interview with BE for Beauty and the founders of BE for Beauty. And who are the founders for BE for Beauty? Mark and Colette, who are also the founders of InkyList and the co-founders of Selfless by Hyram. They gave this interview in 2018, and they were talking about BE for Beauty. I keep saying BE for Beauty, it's B for Beauty, but BE actually stands for Brand Evangelists. BE for Beauty is like an umbrella company, and underneath it there's like a bunch of other little baby companies, all to do with like skincare and like body products and things like that. And in this article, they are talking about how Mark and Colette, BE for Beauty, want to be the biggest like fast beauty company in the world, which they're comparing themselves to like fast fashion companies like ASOS. And this is kind of the main crux of the argument, because how can you be environmentally conscious, sustainable, positive social impact, all of the rest of it, when you are a company trying to be the biggest in the world, and you're pushing product into the market as fast as possible? Because one of the main things that they're bragging about in this interview from 2018 is that unlike a lot of companies that take 18 months to bring a skincare product to the market, Mark and Colette can do it in like 18 weeks, because I don't really know how. They don't really explain how they're able to do it in 18 weeks other than they kind of just do things hands-on by themselves. They kind of get very involved, and they're very like blah, 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 you know? It basically just means that all of this, you know, your impact, positive social impact, how you're helping the environment, how you're, you know, doing really good with your purchase of these products is not really true. And it's just creative marketing, because Mark and Colette create so many companies and they need a way to sell every single one. And the InkyList is like a cheaper, better alternative for a lot of people, decent skincare. So how do they sell yet another brand of product? Well, let's see. They'll partner with a social media star who's involved in skincare, even though he has no certification or formal training, education, anything like that. We'll partner with him because he's gained a loyal fan base of followers with a lot of spending power, and we will put his name on the product, and then we will push it to people that way and say that they're making a positive social change when they purchase it, and that it's recyclable, and that it helps the environment, and that there's sustainable ingredients in it, and all the rest of it. It's just a creative marketing tool, furthered by the fact that Hyram himself does not agree with the organizations that they partnered with, the nonprofits that they partnered with. One of the ones that they partnered with, it was the Rainforest Trust, but also the Thirst Project. And a few years ago, Hyram released a video on YouTube, and it was like why I hated my humanitarian trip, why it was a mistake, why I didn't want to go. It's a really well done video, actually, and I like a lot of the points that he raises. He talks about why he didn't like it, and it's because these nonprofits, these organizations that would do charity work, had a lot of like white saviorism going on, and they created a lot of reliance in these communities that needed help. So instead of like working with the local communities and like working on what they needed, so for example, clean drinking water, they would just come in and build like drinking wells, and they would bring in a lot of people to come build the drinking wells and take it out of the hands of the people suffering with the fact that they don't have clean drinking water. You know, some of the quotes in this video that Hyram uses include white saviorism, bleeding into social media, humanitarian. He wanted to focus on empowering the people instead and financially supporting ethical organizations. And he wants people to critically think about humanitarian work and nonprofit organizations. Who are the founders? Who are they working with? Are they working with local representatives in the community? How are they empowering rather than helping the communities? What is their exit strategy for when the goal is met? And what percentage is being donated? I have a lot of stuff I want to say about the Thirst Project constantly moving their like goal that they've achieved. They keep pushing out their goal and they never hit it, and they keep building these wells. They've been doing it for like 10 years and they never end up leaving the region. And it's important that we understand that some of these nonprofits may not be taking profit, but that doesn't mean they're not profiting. And all of the points that Hyram raises in his video are so good and completely contradict the fact that he is supporting an organization like the Thirst Project. He's sitting there and he's like, you guys do amazing work and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, how can you say that when that is literally not your philosophy, man? Like, that is not what you believe. That's not what you published on the internet a few years ago. You went on these trips. You saw what was going on. These are your belief system is not this. It just makes everything feel a little bit flimsy and like, okay, are you just saying all of this because you have a script to stick to, because your ultimate goal here is to just sell as much product as possible like you've always had to do? Like, what is going on here? It feels disingenuous when you really try to take a bit more of a critical eye to it. As far as going back to like the marketing and Mark and Colette and everything, obviously Mark and Colette are co-founders with Hyram on this. It's a great partnership. They need a way to sell product. Hyram wants his own skincare brand and he wants to be able to do it quickly, and so there's really no better company to partner with, if we're being honest. BE's address, brand evangelists for beauty, B for beauty, they are on all of the bottles, which is how I actually found this out, because I'm a curious individual, and when I got these products I saw that the people who manufactured them was somebody called Brand Evangelists, or B for beauty, had manufactured both of these. And you can see on the tiny little bottle here, there's a little address right there. I don't know if it'll focus on how small it is, and then on this one it also has that on it. And so I was curious, and then I found that same address on the website, and then I realized Brand Evangelist, B for Beauty, is this umbrella company, and I found the article, and I found all of these companies that they have underneath and what their ultimate goal is. And nowhere in this interview and in this article do you hear Mark and Colette talk about sustainability, talk about making a positive social change, talk about making a positive impact to the environment or reducing their impact on the environment. None of that is mentioned in the article. So this idea that this brand Selfless that was created by Mark and Colette and Hyram and everything is so sustainable and amazing and wonderful is kind of nothing but just a clever marketing tool. They can bring their multi-brand concept to life so quickly with products that are concise with the trends and imagery an excited consumer base is constantly seeing on social media. Mark is even quoted in the article saying, our retailers want constant streams of innovations because it's how they grow, by constantly having a pipeline that is fresh to trends and products. You've just got to fish where the fish are. You've just got to fish where the fish are. I can't believe he said that because he's referring to everybody who's just, you just got to fish where the fish are, guys. And yeah, one of the main selling points for Mark and Colette and why someone would work with them is because they do bring product to the market very quickly in like 18 weeks, which is an impressive amount of time, but it is, again, furthering this narrative that they are nothing but fast beauty, the way that ASOS is fast fashion. And they seem to be proud of this. They think that this is how they're going to get the most growth, world domination, and things like that. They got their funding from Unilever Ventures, and Unilever Ventures put in an undisclosed amount along with JML, which is like this company that owned the majority stake in InkyList and Brand Evangelist. I think he owned like 54%. I say he because JML was owned by Ken Daly, this white man. But in 2019, he pulled out and he's not a partner in there anymore. He's not involved anymore. And then Unilever Ventures, came in and dumped even more money into Brand Evangelist so that they could grow even bigger and even faster. And I think they actually own the majority now. They own somewhere between more than 50%, but less than 75%. And this gives you a scope of how much Mark and Colette actually own and how much is just their boss above them type of thing. Like, they don't own 100% of the company. And as a result, Hyram, I think, is probably only going to walk away with like a very small percentage of all of this to begin with. It's just giving you a frame of reference that, you know, Mark and Colette did not just create the InkyList and it was, oh, this little partnership and, oh, Hyram's involved. No. There's a lot of money put behind these guys to create as many products and be as big as possible. When you have venture capitalists coming in and you have venture capital, you have to pay that back at some point. So Mark and Colette are very incentivized to sell as much product as possible, and so is Hyram, because, you know, you have to pay back the people who invested in you and you have to be able to do it with product sales. Yeah, this just gives a scope to how big all of this is, how it's like you're contributing to fast beauty. It's a little bit disappointing. Nowhere in this interview is there any mention of sustainability. This was not on Mark and Colette's mind. This is just a clever marketing tool to push product to a consumer base that Hyram has that is trusting and believes in the things that he markets and believes in his philosophies and everything. Even though, like I said, Thirst Project, nonprofit organization, completely goes against all of Hyram's philosophies. So it feels like none of this is really being genuine and transparent at the end of the day, and it is deceitful. I mean, it's completely counterintuitive to create an entire line of products that the market did not need or ask for. Just because it's recyclable, you create as many bottles as possible, you encourage everybody to buy them, and what's the point at the end of the day? Like, nobody needed this, you know? And don't sit there and give yourself a pat on the back for doing the absolute bare minimum. I mean, we're in 2021. I'm glad that this brand and this company is bringing up how we want to focus on sustainability and we want to focus on making sure the products that we purchase are sustainable. But you're giving yourself a massive pat on the back for doing the freaking bare minimum. Like, we're recycling in 2021. Amazing. They're really focusing on how they're recyclable. Like, this whole thing is all about how much recycling that they do with this product and everything, and how positive their climate change is, and by buying this. And it just is frustrating. And then nowhere on either of these packages do they actually talk about the product, the ingredients, how much of every single ingredient is in there. Like, I'm not saying give me exact percentages, but you could have done like a less than or more than 1% so that people who are overwhelmed by skincare can more easily assess what are the ingredients, how strong are they, will they make an impact on my skin. And this is frustrating considering that Hyram's philosophy has always been, I'm passionate about teaching you how to perfect your skincare and to make skincare accessible for everybody. This is not really accessible because it doesn't really say anything about what the products do. And you know, he's got other bottles as well. He's got the 1 ounce little serums. I don't understand why he had to make 1 ounce serums. Like, why couldn't he partner with Inkey List and they came out with a jar full of a really good moisturizer, a really good cleanser that could be refilled if you purchased like a refill online. I don't know if I mentioned this already, but Hyram says that they will donate 10% of their total product sales if they achieve those sales. So there's a very, very high potential that none of the money pledged to charity even gets donated because they aren't able to hit their product sales goal for a number of different reasons. I mean, we don't even know. That sucks, you know? Now we're going to talk a little bit about if the products are actually good and if I liked them and if I thought that they were good. I'm going to be gentle on the cleanser the way that it was gentle for me. I appreciated the cleanser. Obviously, you know, I have sensitive skin and I have problematic skin, so I'm always looking for something that is going to be more gentle. This did not have a scent, which I loved. It had a good feel in the hands. My James Walsh yet. It had a good feel in the hands. It felt nice. It was silky. It lathered a little bit. It didn't bubble or foam, but it lathered. However, it didn't do much of anything for my skin. Like, I'm wearing makeup right now. If I was to try to take this off, it doesn't really take it off. So if you're not wearing makeup or doing things like that and you're looking for a really gentle product, you could get this. I don't think it actually improves your skin in any way, but I mean, we're talking about a product that gets rinsed off down the drain anyway, so I don't know how much we could be asking for. The actual product price, I'll put it on the screen right now. I paid like 25 bucks or something for it. I don't know if I showed it. Yeah, I don't know. It felt a little bit kiddish. The cap is gonna break any day now. I've been very gentle with it, but it's gonna freaking snap any day. For the price, I certainly wasn't wowed by it. It is 5 fluid ounces, so it will last a little while. I don't know. It didn't really cleanse, like I said, my makeup or anything off my skin. So I questioned whether it was cleansing off like my sunscreen and stuff because it wasn't really strong enough to do that. Then we come to the moisturizer. This is the moisturizer. It looks like this, comes in this little tube, which I actually found the tube to be quite fun. It doesn't stand very well on the cap, which was annoying. I liked how this one sat on my sink, but this one did not. It kept falling everywhere because it's like dome shaped. I absolutely hated this with my entire being. I was so disappointed in this product, and I'm not the only one. It's one of the most expensive. It's $26 for this tube for 1.7 fluid ounces. I wanted a moisturizer. I got the cleanser and moisturizer because I frankly could not afford to get the entire line, and I picked the two that I felt that other people would pick as well, that were more necessary. Not a requirement, but I mean a requirement, like, oh, a cleanser, moisturizer, that's the go-to for people. This was so disappointing. It did not moisturize. It smelled like vegetables, and I'm not the only person that thinks this. There's a review on the website where someone says it made their skin smell like vegetables. It does have a scent. It has a scent, and it's not a very nice one, and it lingers. It's also incredibly sticky and tacky on the skin. No matter how much I used, no matter how little, no matter how much, it always left my skin tacky, and I just could not stand it. I'd wake up in the night time with my skin just very dry. All through the day, it did not help me, and it would pill underneath my makeup and make my makeup kind of slip everywhere. So that was not good either. I absolutely hated it. Would do anything to get my money back from this. Would do anything to get my money back for both because I didn't really like either of them because they caused a breakout too. Like, my skin had these bumps on it that it hasn't had in a very long time. And I saw other people also having this issue. Skincare by Hyram, Selfless by Hyram, recommends that you wait 4 to 6 weeks when you're using a new product to see positive changes. I could not wait that long. I had to discontinue after like 3 weeks of use because it was just wrecking my skin. Selfless by Hyram says that they don't have a returns department, so you can email them, but you're probably not going to get your money back because you can't return the product. I think they offer refunds in very specific cases, but none of the reviews I was reading sounded very good because it just sounded like, yeah, people couldn't really return the product. So I'm stuck with these as well. Like, I'm obviously going to recycle them, but I just feel bad because it's a waste of product. And for a lot of people, that's going to be the same case. And it's not their fault if their skin has a reaction and they don't like it or it doesn't work for them. They should get their money back. So it feels a little bit sad that they don't have any kind of refund thing going on. It just doesn't make sense. But yeah, I absolutely loathed it. And $26 for 1.7 fluid ounces it's a little bit ridiculous considering Hyram. He would snub his nose for years at like more higher end luxury items, higher end priced products. Like he always was trying to find products for people that were on the lower price end. And this did not feel accessible for the large majority of his fans. To price a product so high, it doesn't do very much. And in a lot of cases, it created breakouts for people. So I don't know. And it smells like vegetables. I don't understand why. Once again, Hyram has no formal education. He's not a skincare, he calls himself a skincare specialist. He does not have any training. He does not have any formal education, no certification, nothing like that. But he's very good at selling product. He's a sales guy, and he's the poster boy for these products. They don't really seem to even align with how he feels about being selfless, if you will. I was hoping to see a little bit of like behind the scenes on the packaging, like some quick tips or tricks or something. None of that happened. It's all just about how you're recycling and helping the environment. Nothing about the ingredients. I really wanted to see transparency with the ingredients and like the percentage of ingredient in each product. Not the exact percentage, because obviously that would reveal the formula, but like less than or more than 1% would have helped a lot. Otherwise, you don't really have any clue about these ingredients because they're very long and difficult to pronounce in a lot of cases. Yeah, it felt impersonal not to hear more advice from Hyram. I know that they have barcodes on everything because they want you to go to the website and look at all the videos and instructional things and stuff that were on Vimeo. They were not posted on YouTube because there's a massive, massive, massive privacy, like censorship policy on the website because the censorship laws and stuff in the UK are different than in the US. Selfless by Hyram, it doesn't distribute directly in the United States. They have no distribution. They have it in Canada and the UK, and they, ship into the US. This means that you're underneath the UK privacy policy when you're on the website. And this means that you literally cannot post even a review on the website that could be deemed annoying because they can pull it down. I'm not allowed to basically talk about a lot of stuff, and there's just a high degree of censorship going on, which is really unfortunate. Almost as if they felt like there was a possibility people would react negatively to the product and they didn't want anybody to be able to easily create videos or anything about it. So yeah, there are Vimeo videos of him explaining how to use the product and stuff, but I mean, if anyone's walking into a Sephora or buying this online and they don't really know who Hyram is, I would have liked to have seen more on the actual packaging and less about recycling and your positive social impact, because let's be frank, that's not really what's going on here. I mean, you're still contributing to mass consumerism and fast beauty products at the end of the day. So yeah, I was looking forward to hearing how the ingredients benefited my skin. Didn't find anything about any of that. So I don't know, I have no idea. Felt like these products were kind of lazy in the bare minimum, that everything was a little bit rushed and it could have been done to a higher degree of perfection. Even the way that the fonts and everything are on the bottles, they feel very spaced out, small, like why is there so much space between this and this? It just feels like it's rushed, that there's something not quite right on these products. I don't know, doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Like I said, there's no refund and return policy, which is sad, so people can't get their money back if they buy direct through the website. I think you can get your money back if you go through Sephora, but I don't really know. I think so, but I also don't know if the products purchased through Sephora count for the total product sales for donating to charity. So I'm not even sure if the products you purchase through Sephora make a positive change or not. I don't know. As far as the SPF goes, everybody was wondering why there was no SPF included in the skincare line. My feeling is that I'm probably going to release one at one point and just hasn't yet because it's taking longer, or he wants to be able to promote other sunscreens to still get some money from promoting other product. In his How to Use Selfless by Hyram video, he promotes Bliss sunscreen and doesn't say he has a sponsorship with them or anything, but I did email them. I will show the emails now here in this video from Bliss. They are working with Hyram. He was most likely incentivized, paid, or had some kind of reason to be promoting Bliss, probably received some kind of pay or something from them. I wish he would have included that in the video. Once again, there's just a complete lack of transparency. Like, just tell people that you're working with them. Tell them that you have a partnership with Bliss so that when they're buying this product, it's not just because you're making an organic recommendation when really you're native advertising. It's like, just be transparent with people. I'm tired of everybody being like, we're transparent, we're transparent. Be transparent then. Stop saying you're transparent when you're not actually transparent. It's super annoying. And yeah, like I mentioned with the charity aspect, according to the website, Selfless, they're going to donate 10% to these organizations as long as they hit their total, and we have no idea if they're going to hit those goals or what those goals even are. So there's a chance that none of this money even gets donated to these organizations. I don't know. They make it sound like it already has, but I don't know. Once again, I have a lot to say on the Thirst Project, but I'm not going to get into it. this charity aspect, nonprofit aspect, positive social change, environmentally friendly story is really pushed with these products. Anytime you hear Selfless by Hyram talked about by Hyram or anyone else or anywhere else, you will hear you're making a positive social change. You're really changing the world. You're changing the world. And it's like, you're contributing to mass consumerism, friend. Like, I'm sorry, but that's what it is. And I'm so tired of these brands and these companies taking their audiences for a ride. You know, did this bring up a really important conversation potentially about picking sustainable companies, picking brands that are sustainable, choosing companies that give back to the environment or try to minimize their impact when they're creating these products? Absolutely, this totally raises that conversation. I'm glad we could have this chat. I'm glad you can have this chat with people, with your friends, with yourself, and think about products that you purchase in the future and if they're sustainable or not. Very, very glad we can all have that conversation, but let's not sit there and pretend that this is some kind of wonderful, fantastical product that is changing the world, because it is hurting the environment, the one that it's claiming to champion for. It's literally hurting it. I also just had a small rant here that I just wanted to put in. One of the reasons that Hyram claims he got into skincare is because he was showing signs of premature aging at 18 because he wasn't taking care of his skin and he had like fine lines, wrinkles, blah, blah, blah. Don't peddle premature anti-aging products to people under the age of 30 because that's really gross. Nobody needs that kind of weird insecurity pushed on them. That's not a real thing, okay? And I cannot believe that he would sit there and say that good skincare is what helped reverse his signs of premature aging. The only thing that reverses the signs of premature aging would be retinoids, and Botox, if you're lucky, okay? So I just putting that out there, just calm down with this premature aging to people who are not even 30 years old. He just needs to relax. He needs to stop with this because it's ridiculous. And remember to do your own research for skincare, but also for these organizations, these nonprofits and charities that claim to give money to good causes and that are raising money for good causes. Just do a little bit of research there, because you'll find that it's not always what it seems to be. And just because these companies aren't taking profit does not mean they're not profiting. Just remember that. So, conclusion, this entire brand feels like just marketing. Like, this is just marketing at the end of the day to get people to try to purchase a product that nobody really needed or asked for or wanted. I wish that Hyram would have done a more sustainable option in general, picked one product to release to the market. Maybe he did work with Inculus, but at least he could have just made one with the refills online. Could have been a moisturizer, could have been a cleanser, could have been something. Like, there's a number of different ways where you could do this so much better for the reason that you actually say that you're doing it for, you know? Don't just sit there and say that you're being environmentally friendly. Actually be environmentally friendly. And releasing literally 10 plastic tubes of product to the market is just not the way to do this. It comes across as you're just doing this for monetary gain. I firmly believe that if your heart is 100% behind something for the right reason, then it will work out. But if you're doing something for monetary gain above all else, people will be able to see through that. And that is really what's going on here. For Mark, Colette, Hyram, there's not a lot of like actual benefit to the environment with any of this. If you're not actually focused on helping people and true transparency, you won't be very fulfilled, and people will definitely be able to see through it, and the product won't stand on its own, and it will eventually fail, and nobody's gonna want it at the end of the day because they can just see what's going on. Hyram made the decision ultimately to partner with Mark and Colette, and he knew exactly what he was doing when he did it, and I guess it's just sad to see this sort of like version of sellout going on where he didn't have to do this, and he certainly could have spent a lot more time developing a really great skincare line, maybe of just a few core products, with a much fairer price and all the rest of it. Like, this felt lazy, this felt rushed, and this felt like a sellout cash grab move. Once again, skincare is largely optional. It should not feel mandatory. It should be something you do because you love to do it and you have fun doing it and you want to take care of yourself, protect your skin, and love your skin. You know, don't let anybody bully you or pressure you or give you insecurities about the way you look and make you feel like you have to change anything, because you don't. I promise, okay? Please don't do that. I love you. Thank you. Please subscribe if you want, because it helps me out a lot. You don't have to. I see a bunch of you lurking every single day and every week and every time I upload, and I see you. I acknowledge you. You don't have to subscribe if you don't want to, but I'd appreciate if you did. But I also appreciate that you're even watching this to begin with, so thank you. And yeah, I hit 1 million channel views like a few days ago. It was something that I just really wanted to take a moment and just say thank you for. Even the people who don't like me. I know some of you don't like me and you watch my videos because you don't like me, but I kind of like you anyway. So I promise I will try to get the next one out a little bit quicker because I already kind of have an idea of what I'm going to film. Yeah, thank you. And I'll see you guys. Bye. Bye.